Good afternoon. We are in the session now, and it's going to be very brief.
Obehi Okafor, who is here for screening as co-chairman of the Governing Council of the Unclaimed Funds Trust Fund. Distinguished Chairman, the nominee has submitted her CVs and all other relevant documents which I believe are for you.
The nominee of Mr. President for the office of the co-chairman of Unclaimed Funds Trust Fund. I'm sure most of my colleagues will want to know deeply what Unclaimed Funds Trust Funds means. These are funds that have not been claimed by individuals, either in the banks or from their dividends of their investments. So instead of allowing those funds to lay in banks, in entities, and those entities taking advantage of those funds, federal government as custodian of every one of us, feel we should now put those funds under one trust fund. In the event that you have identified your dividends or we've identified next of kins, they are still entitled to their funds. So the trust fund is just holding in trust for Nigerians. So we will give her the opportunity to introduce ourselves. After the introduction, to give us a CV, we will want the press to excuse us. And I will give this microphone to my co-chairman, so he will add his input in this screening exercise. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and my distinguished colleagues. I think it's also important that I also lend my voice to the introductory remarks of the chairman, and just to underscore as well that in addition to what the chairman has said, the idleness of some of these funds that we're talking about, they are essentially funds within the banking system, particularly dormant account, and of course, unclaimed dividends. And I think that part of the essence of also putting it in a trust is also to help the government as well to actually have access to funds of this nature, so that the requirement for running government expenditures can be moderated. So rather than borrowing all of the time, when you have access to this kind of idle funds, it also helps in reducing the cost of financing government activities. You might wonder that, okay, what happens to the owners? Again, because government is also a sovereign, at any point in time when any of this money is called upon or required, of course, your sovereign remains almost your last resort. So the risk of making it available to the owners is almost not negligible. So the whole idea of this trust fund or this entity is also to bring about efficiency in the way of
PLO will present the nominee to the committee so that she will be able to tell us who she is and how capable is she to hold the office.
I will hand over to Mario so that she can speak for herself.
We all have your CV. So what you need to do to us is summarize that CV. You don't need to go bit by bit of it. Summarize it and tell us what your mission and vision for this office is.
My full name is Obehi Adesuwa Okafor. I am married. I attended primary school Corona School, Victoria Island, Lagos. Thereafter, I proceeded to Queen's College, Yaba, Lagos. I did my college studies in University of Lagos, where I studied law and obtained a bachelor's degree in law. Afterwards, I proceeded to the Nigerian Law School, and I graduated and was called to bar in 2002. Then I started my career. I was the MD of Out of Eden Limited, and that was a turnkey project. I also drew up SPAs for several companies, but basically I was into real estate and development when I was in Out of Eden. Then I proceeded to do a Master of Law from the University of London. I graduated in 2008, and then my appointment with government was with Edo State. I was the MD of the Edo State Agency, and I did that from 2021 to 2024 last year. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So, give us what's your mission, and because you read law.
Yes, I do.
And now you are coming to manage unclaimed funds,
Yes.
which is numbers.
Yes, figures.
So give us a vision, your vision, just summarize it, then the press will excuse it. Because the press will want to know what
Of course.
you can do.
My last role as the pioneer MD of the tourism agency, I was the CEO and substantive CFO of the agency. The funding was mainly by PPP status. So I had to liaise with PPWC, and we also engaged multinationals and corporate organizations. A big stakeholder in the tourism agency was the Dangote Group. We also had IDL and some of the top banks as standing, and so numbers is not a strange. I'm not a stranger to numbers. I had to sit down. Everything that was done, and including the 10-year plan, I had to sit down with corporates, with PwC, with our advisors, to get funding, to break down how the funding was being used, and I also reported to a board.
Thank you. What will be your mission?
My mission with the Unclaimed Funds is capital preservation. Aside from governance, I will optimize the returns of the unclaimed funds. Unclaimed funds are of twofold. Money is deposited in banks, dormant accounts, for at least 6 years and above. Also, the dividends of companies, publicly listed companies on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, 6 years and above. Those funds cumulatively will come under the trust fund, which I will control, which I will be chairman, co-chairman. Now, we need to productively invest those funds. As they come to us, we maximize returns, but we also manage the risk prudently as we invest the funds. The funds we hold in trust for the owners, those who may have a legal claim to the funds. So we are very, very mindful of that. However, instead of sitting idly, the government, the federal government will have access to it to expand the fiscal landscape of the country.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. And I'm sure the press will have captured something here. When you invest the money, you know that you are holding this money in trust. When you invest this money, whatever is made out of it, the accruals will also be shared with the owners of the funds, right?
Exactly.
Okay, good. So with this, I will want the press to excuse us. Some of the secretarial staff, please excuse us. Thank you very much, and I hope that you're going to report it very well.